Phoenix, not making the playoffs at all this year.
But hey, hey, we want to say thank y'all for tapping in with us. It's the unit, you know what I mean? It's myself, the ambassador. I got my brothers Cross, Killer Cross, and Kendo Sauce on here with me, you know. And so we was already talking behind the stage. G3 is running late. He'll be here, but that don't stop the show. That's just how we get down, right? And so, man, we was
Exactly.
behind the stage talking basketball, and so I said, hey, let's push live and get the whole. We need everybody opinion. You know what I mean? Street ball,
Yeah.
pro world. We don't care who it is. So just tap in with us. So Kendo, pick up, bro. What we was talking on, my man. What
Yeah,
news you got?
I just brought up the fact that the Nuggets, fired they head coach and the GM right before the playoffs, and like if my like they were just in the finals. How many years ago that was?
Man, yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, like I know they were just in the finals. You got the 2-time MVP on your team, and I wouldn't necessarily say they had a bad season this year. I mean, Jokic at times did look like he was out there playing 1-on-5, but like y'all still like as tough as the West probably was sort of this season. When was it, Coach?
Well, I'm just looking at they in fourth place too. So you know what I mean. So I'm just like, why would you get rid of? Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna look it up. That just caught my
That's
attention.
you know what I mean. Like that's crazy, but you got the 2-time MVP. Y'all won. I forget how many titles they won. I think they got 2 titles out there in Denver, 1 or 2 titles. Y'all in fourth place in the West.
They was in the finals in 2023. So you're
Come on,
right.
man.
You know what I mean?
Crazy.
What is that like? I don't know. I don't know.
Bro, like I said, I understand business is business, but it's more going on that we don't know
Got to
about.
be.
To get rid
Got to
of the
be.
coach and the GM right before the playoffs, and they're in fourth place.
I can understand that they was in eighth, ninth, 10th place, but come on, y'all pretty much at the top of the West right now.
Right.
That's crazy. Phoenix didn't make the playoffs this year. That so-called super team out there.
Okay.
With Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant. What you think about that, Cross?
I ain't even been keeping up with it, so I wouldn't even know too much. But that is crazy for them to lose their coach though at the peak of what's finna happen though. But I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to get more into it just to kind of know what's going on. Now, I've been
yeah,
kind of keeping up with the seeds or whatever, but not the coach. That's crazy though. That's they caught me off guard, man. You caught me off guard with them.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I had to go and do a little research because, like I said, I'm not, I'm busy, I'm everywhere. But at the end of the day, where he's like, wait, they got rid of who? All right, let me look their record up. Wait,
yeah.
they're fourth place,
Fourth in the West.
right? And they was in the finals 2 years ago. You know what I mean? And this is the GM and the coach you let
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
So that means there's some stuff behind the scenes that I'm thinking it's gonna be coming out, or it got to,
yeah,
because I'm just
yeah.
like, yo,
Probably
that
more than likely, like after the season over with, over the summer,
right,
everything gonna come out.
man. Oh, hey, so Cross, he had tapped in. We're gonna switch it over. I had a guest. Shout out to my man, Coach B, Coach Bashard Williams. He's the head coach of the Outlaws, and he was one of the coaches, honestly, that like folks didn't know. Like I helped both players and coaches go pro, and he was someone that God gave me the opportunity to help him to go to the CBA, to go to China and start his international career. And he was sharing his story with us a few nights ago, and Cross happened to be on there. He said he had learned a few things, you know what I mean? And I'm like, what did you learn, man? What is it did you learn, Cross?
Just by listening to coach or whatever, just like his whole story kind of it's like one of them type of stories where he didn't know where he's gonna end up and how he was gonna be in the position that he in now or whatever. So by him playing AAU ball and going to playing college and then end up getting hurt and then turned into a trainer,
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he around NBA players. He met up with coach, and coach gave him an opportunity to coach a team in China. And then ever since then, he's just been elevating with his career or whatever. But the main thing that I liked about what he was talking about when he got further into the conversation, he was talking about like the character,
That
like what we
part.
was talking about, like on the last live about the character and the person. Um, if they can't be coached on the by playing ball, it ain't gonna be able to translate to real life or whatever. So, and what he was kind of saying that he rather be able to get you on the right track and hey you the same way on the court. It can't be off balance or whatever. So by me just listening to that and the other things he's doing, he got his own brand and he had people helping him push that brand too. So that right there was like motivation for me. Like, okay, it is a way to just got to put that work in, and it'll come. It's just some. It took like he was saying he didn't expect it to be the way I was gonna be, but it turned out. And but just by listening to him, I'm like, man, he got a head on his shoulder. I
Yeah.
like, I was like, yeah, he got yeah. It's like the way how he was telling that whole journey or whatever. It's like it was like written down, man. He just had it so it was just so in dialogue when he was speaking. So I liked it.
Right.
Man, I think the one of the things that like you spoke on, and I try to not only just preach that, and honestly try to walk that. You talking about your character, you know what I mean? And that is the difference maker because, like I said, that's the thing. It doesn't matter how much talent you have. You have all the talent, but if your character is suspect, I don't know how you're gonna respond, react, or you know what I mean, off the court and things like that. Then folks who actually can help you go somewhere, they won't put their name on you. You know what I mean? It's about like who you know type situation, and so I think that that's one of the things that like he had mentioned. I had checked out his Instagram because that's as a scout, as a recruiter. That's part of the job. Look at what what their person is promoting, right?
Mhm.
And so that's across the board. That I don't care if you're trying to be a professional. That's the thing. It's street ball, regular basketball. If you want to be a professional, and that's I would say each side. It doesn't matter. I mean, because even on the pro side, you have you say the villains. You know what I mean? Everybody's a character. You have your certain personality, but at the end of the day, if your character is off, then you begin to see folks sort of hands off, you know what I mean, type situation. And so that was something that he had talked about and that I try to speak on and I try to do, you know what I mean. What's up, Shutdown King?
What up, though?
What's up? What's up?
And so, I mean, I think that's one of the things. It's pretty dope because it's across the board now. Now we're talking on the street ball side about this, about character. You know what I mean? You heard it on the pro side, and you say, okay, well, my resume. Da, da, da. No, it's across the board. You know what I mean? And so, I just had wanted you to tap in because you was listening to the conversation, and then
Yeah.
you brought it up to me, and I was like, man, what was it that caught your attention? And so that's just something that I try to really preach. And we start talking about the brand,
Yeah,
really
he got
push
the
the
brand too,
brand.
yeah. And I
Yeah,
checked his page out or whatever, and I kind of saw how his brand and stuff going. I like the shirts, how he got them and all that. I was like, yeah, like
right.
coach plugged in for real. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, coach plugged in now, y'all. Hey, the ambassador plugged in for real.
Man, God, like, and I give it all, glory to God. I have been blessed and fortunate enough to work with players and coaches and GMs and owners at all levels, international. And like you said, the timing because it was a building a brand. This has been 13 years. I've been building a brand, building relationships, building, you know what I mean? And so now we come back full circle and folks begin to say, oh, I make a phone call. Hey, jump on the podcast. Let's chop it up. And folks are like, oh yeah, that's my people. Oh, that's my people. And then you
Mhm.
hear and you see what they're doing and you begin to realize like, okay. And that's what I try to tell people. I was blessed to meet Ballaholic and all the big name street ball players, but I had already had my own name. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
think that that's the other part, right? That folks is just like, oh, you trying to just jump on board and create a name or for yourself by teaming up. It's like, no, I already had a name and respect and a
Yeah.
brand, and it's just us coming together to make something bigger, which that's what we're all doing now. You know what I mean? Everybody got their own brand. We got our own following and character. So for us to make a bigger platform, we got to come together, and that's the unit. You know what I mean? And so I think that that's one of the blessing is just to say, man, when I met Ballaholic, I knew who he was and what he had done. I was like, I know you probably don't know me because I don't have this big name on that big stage like that. But when you begin to see all the people I know and how I can make phone calls, and then you be like, oh wow, okay. And that's just who I am. I'm that behind the scenes brother that God has blessed with a bunch of great relationships, including you all. You know what I mean? There's a lot of great things that's coming out of our relationship that as it unfolds, people gonna really be tripping. You know what I mean? Like, oh wow,
Yep.
you know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good to hear that. Well, then the other guy, he was on there too. You had another guy that was on there, like I think the other day before
Yeah.
the day
So
after.
Jaron, we call him Boy Scout. So he got a name for me, a ballaholic. He
Yeah.
was a pro player that had got injured. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's what I do. I work with players to get them jobs, or I help take them down a path and put them in front of people and things like that. And he was one of the players that my folks here in Washington had told me about, and we had a tournament. I collaborated with my folks, the Big Chipper, and my brand, the Admiral. So it's called the Admiral's Big Chipper. And they told me, and I said, the MVP is going to win a trip, if you want to say, basically it was, to be on Street Ball to Pro. And this was the idea that I have with Ballaholic saying, okay, this is what we're going to do. Yes, we've got the podcast, but I want to do my own version. If you want to say, and one had its own style, but Street Ball to Pro was my style where we was finding the players, we're gonna take them on these different tours and have elimination. And in the process of it, they're gonna get opportunity to get the job. And
Mhm.
so he was the first player, played in the tournament, boom. He went to UK with me and Ballaholic, and then I had another 6, 7 player that came, and then I had 5 London players, and that was the first time when they played in a tournament out there. You know what I mean? And so I think we ended up taking second. An injury type situation happened, but boom, what ended up happening from there, uh, that player, Jaron, we stayed together. And on the back end, I'm like an agent, right? So they call me, a lot of folks call me and say, hey, coach, what you got going on? What's the next opportunity? And I knew of an opportunity in Thailand. He said, yo, you think I should? Yep. You got that kind of game. Go out there, go and do it. And of course, he went out there and he killed, right? So now let me tell you. So the person who owned the Thailand team, I know him, right? And so that's the other part. It's about who you know. And he had a chance. He played against. Well, I don't know. No, we didn't get to play against, but he saw Boy Scout play in UK because he had a team in UK. You know what I mean? So it was one of those relationship type situation. And then he went to Thailand and he killed. They made it to the finals. And so that's the thing. Now he has his resume. He came back from injury. He went, got his some stats and things on back on the pro level. He has opportunity now. He's talking to Hong Kong. He's talking to a couple other places to continue his career, and we're still in contact. So that's who he was, and that's sort of give you an idea of who am I? What do I do? I'm the behind the scenes. I scout, and I know a lot of folks, and I put them in. I just get them connected. You know what I mean? Sort of the plug. You know. So Shutdown said, "What is your favorite mixtape and why?"
Um,
Mixtape.
favorite
Yeah.
and mixtape. Uh,
Well, any
Volume
kind of
Three.
mixtape is just in it. It don't matter.
Volume
Must say
Volume Volume Three will be
and
my
one and one mixtape. My bad. Your favorite and one mixtape.
Volume Three will be my favorite and one mixtape because that was the birth of sauce. Like that was the hot sauce tape. So like
Okay.
that was game changing for me because like I had like seen like volume 1 and 2 And like I liked a lot of the stuff that I saw guys like Shane, the dribbling machine, and Headache. I liked a lot of stuff that I saw them doing, but the stuff I saw Sauce was doing and the stuff I saw AO doing on Volume 3, man, I was just like, yeah, man, like this might be probably like a lot of street ball fans say Volume 1 is the greatest mixtape because that was the jump off to everything. Like without Volume 1, of course, you don't get 2 and 3, and on you know what I'm saying, on beyond that. But Volume 3, I think, was a game changer because you saw guys from outside of New York. You know what I mean? AO being from Philly, Sauce being from Atlanta. Um, Flash was on there on Volume 3. A lot of people don't know this, but Bone Collector was on Volume 3. So you gotta. It was pretty much like the introduction to, at that time, the new wave of street ball players that were coming in. So that's why I say Volume 3 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I say yeah, Volume 3 is one of the ones that I one of my favorite ones, and then the Street Ball Classic mixtape that did over there in New York. Yeah, it's kind of mixed up with different players from like just different leagues in the summer league basketball tournaments they had going on. And
Mm-hmm.
right there kind of put me up on different players. Like I'll be right back, cross country. Just there's a whole
Yeah,
bunch of different people in there. Kirk the Flirt. It was a lot of a lot of people that was already, matter of fact, they was already kind of semi-pro, but they was just playing in there through the summer. Like
yeah,
Kareem Reed played in there. But them two tapes right there, 'cause Volume 3, I got introduced to Volume 3 by my homeboy telling me about hot sauce being on there doing like the tricks and stuff like that. And then ever since then, I've been messed up.
yeah, yeah,
When they come to just doing certain stuff, I be trying to keep it fundamental. I still play fundamental, but sometimes I like I'm finna just go on and carry that ball a little bit.
man. Uh, it ain't nothing fundamental about my game, man. Like a lot of dudes, a lot of dudes hate that. You know what I mean? But it just like just talking to Sauce and having the relationship I had with him. Like he gave me a lot of basketball advice about just doing what you do. You know what I mean? Like do whatever you're gonna do to stand out. Like if your handles the reason why you stand out, show your handles. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like I always, it's just like I said, like I remember a couple episodes ago when I was saying like when I was younger, I was like, man, I wish I would have believed in myself more. You know what I'm saying? If I would have had hot sauce in my ear at 13, 14 versus 19, 20, man, I would have been a different beast, man. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, like I'm just grateful that I got the relationship that I got with him now because like you know what I'm saying? Like most of us, like I was a fan first. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I got to know Philip. You know what I'm saying? I got to know Philip Champion versus Hot Sauce. You
That's
know what I'm
awesome.
saying? And Philip is real modest, real humble guy. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying?
We gotta get them on the podcast, man. Go on, put them
Oh
on the
man,
podcast.
it's coming. It's
Yeah.
coming. It's
Hey,
coming.
hey, just y'all let me know so I can promote the mess out that thing. I'm gonna
Oh
push the
yeah,
line
it's
on.
it's it's, it's definitely coming.
We're
It's
gonna
definitely
get flyers made and everything.
Right?
Get a
Yeah.
flyer
it's
made.
definitely
Got to get a flyer with this one.
I want to try to do an episode where I can get his oldest son on because
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
if
yeah. He called too
you
though.
know if
Yeah,
y'all
yeah,
see him,
yeah. He
Orion
called too.
champion.
Yeah, he
He
called.
go.
Oh
I,
He
I'm,
yeah.
I,
You
his
gotta
son.
make that happen, Kendo.
yeah. I'm gonna definitely reach out to him and see if he'll be interested in coming on and giving his basketball story, being the son of a
Right.
street ball legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like in a way, like that's kind of pressure because like
That
they hear you
is.
hot sauce son, like I'm hot sauce cousin, and they
yeah.
expect me to come out there and you know what I mean. So I can't imagine what it like being his son. So
It,
Right.
it,
man,
it,
I would love to hear his basketball story, like from the time he first started out playing up until the
mm,
grown man that he turned into. Cause he a beast now. But like the
yeah,
thing about Orion, like a lot of people might hear Hot Sauce Son and think like, he probably got
Yeah.
that jumper.
yeah. He got that jump.
Jumper.
He got the handles too, but you could tell Sauce kind of got him like
Right.
just kind of. keep it like this, but he
Yeah,
got some
keep it
money
like
too.
this. Keep it like it. But even still, like I don't know if y'all remember a couple episodes ago when I was saying like sometimes you just like your handle, just showing off your handle can be like a trick. You know what I'm saying? Like if it look nice, people going,
Yep,
ooh,
yep.
like because it
They
look
gonna
nice. You know what
expect
I mean?
they gonna expect something out of it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And
Man,
it will make it crazy, like by you saying his son, like I just remember going all the way back to when he was on the and one mixtape tour. Remember when he was outside? It just showed
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if you ever did go back and look at the mixtape coach, you would kind of see like Hot Sauce went to go pick his son up. He was still a toddler. Now we
yeah.
talking about him now, and now he grown.
right.
A
It's
grown
that's
man,
something.
man.
It's like we
Cause like
saw his
that,
son grow up. Like we saw his son grow up.
yeah,
That's
pretty much,
dope.
pretty much. Cause like a lot of people don't know this, but Hot Sauce got a little brother. He just signed with a
He got a. I ain't know he had a brother.
yeah,
Right?
he got a younger brother. His younger brother 6'7",
Woo.
7,
Oh,
a big boy, and I think I want to say he 19. I think he 19 or 20.
Big, yeah.
Yeah, man.
That,
Like
that,
him,
that,
like him and Hot Sauce son, they under the same college program. I think it's a school in
okay.
North Carolina.
he got a
So
good teammate right there.
they got
That's a good
together
teammate.
this year.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's dope.
Matter of
yeah,
fact,
Oh,
if
yeah.
he's 6'7", that means he about tall as Alex. Remember Alex that came out to Tacoma? Alex
Oh,
six
yeah.
seven.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
tall.
That's what
The
I'm
dude from
saying.
Italy,
Six,
that
seven?
dude from Italy, he tall. I like. He made me look
Yeah.
short. I feel so short around him. I ain't want to stand beside him. I feel so short. I was like, I ain't that tall, but he made me feel like I was just short. I
Yeah,
was like,
six,
oh,
seven.
that's tall,
So let
man.
me let me let me let me ask y'all this. So
Okay.
like in playing basketball, like the way you look on the court go a lot into how you play. Like how Deion Sanders say, like when you look
Right.
good. So I want to know what's y'all favorite hoop shoe and what's y'all least favorite hoop shoe? Out of all the shoes you done played in, everybody got a favorite shoe.
Ooh. Oh, that's a good one. Uh,
Like
that's
it is a good question because
that's yeah.
like for me, like when I was playing like in the men leagues, I try to play like in some. I played in them Jordan 9s because I knew I was gonna be kind of moving on defense. I want to make sure my ankles is it had the best support I can have or
Yeah,
whatever. But like playing like outside, it got to be some shoes all right, and then played in for so long to where I don't even care about them. Just you be stopping and going and scraping your foot on the concrete. It
yeah.
had to be
Man.
I got like some Nike Raids, some Nike Air Raids. I got some of them. I played in them a couple times outside. It's like the most recent shoe I get since I started back playing outside. It's like that shoe.
Hmm.
That's a good question. Man, you're gonna take me back to the M1 days. That was one of my favorite pair. I remember I had some Jones, they was all silver. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah,
was one of those definitely defense. I do everything. And so I mean I go back pennies because pennies from Memphis. I'm from Memphis, you know what I mean? He's one of the
good
biggest
shoe.
legends in my town, you know.
I ain't never had a pair of pennies. I need to get me a pair of pennies. I ain't never had
Bruh,
a
Oh,
pair of
for
pennies.
real? Wow.
yeah, I know. Pennies. That was one. Man, I don't really hoop now. I just teach. So that's a different world too. So it's like that's a good question. Because I wasn't, I guess anything definitely give me ankle support because I'm a defender. I used to get jumped. I had a 36, 37-inch vertical, you know what I mean,
Oh,
type situation. Uh shooter. I did a little everything. So I don't know. That's a good question. That's why I say and one. I just remember those all silver and one shoes.
What
That was
was
one of
the
my
design on them? The design on the shoe? What it looked like? What the
bro. You know what? I'm gonna have to try to look it up.
yeah.
Uh,
I know you. What yours? Them AIs.
hey, I go hard.
No, I'm talking
uh,
about.
yeah, bro. You know what? It really depends. Like my favorite Iverson shoe to play in is the fours, the MVP shoe, his MVP shoe. That probably my favorite shoe to play in. the fours and the fives. Y'all remember even on the court we stay fly, Jada and AI, make sure you go get the A5. I had those. That's another good Iverson shooter hoop in, but my favorite hoop shoe gotta be the Kyrie fives. They're my favorite shoe to play in because
Wow.
it's really a shoe sculpted for a point guard that know how to dribble and can really like cut and go. So like the Kyrie fives would be my favorite hoop shoe. My least favorite hoop shoe, the Jordan 11s. I hated playing in those.
Them shoes too big too. They real
Yeah,
big and long. Yeah, they
I hated them, man. I'm like, oh my God, bro, I can't get my foot off the ground in these shoes, man. They so big and
like
heavy,
my
man.
homeboy said, he said them shoes feel like boots.
Yeah, they do. They feel like you playing in some Timberlands or something like that, man. And I'm like,
Oh, bro.
nah, bro, like this ain't it, man. Hate
Right,
So
these
right.
shit. Man.
they were the Latrell Sprewell
Oh,
joints.
okay. Oh
Oh
yeah,
wow,
okay.
yeah. I remember
Yeah,
them. Yeah,
yeah.
Nah,
I
yeah.
was some of my favorite joints. It was getting people to business, and that's when N1 was really big too. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh,
Talking them up.
right.
I think that's important, man. But like I think a lot of that started with Michael Jordan, though, cause like I think he was one of the first players that had like his own like little swag on the court. You know what I mean? Like with
Yep.
the way he dressed. Like I heard Allen Iverson say, like he looked like a superhero, like from the way, you know what I'm saying, like how his shoes matched the uniform and the
Yeah.
wristband, stuff like that. So I think like that well, I can say that influence as far as like matching with your uniform, that don't went out the door because these cats nowadays, they look, oh my God, man.
I remember you were
Look
saying
like,
something like that on your post or something. You said it on Instagram. You said they be dressing like they looking all crazy now.
yeah, they do, man. Like my son be trying to get on me because like I still wear the baggy shorts. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah.
he be like, man, you wearing them big old shorts and all that type of stuff. And I be like, bro, y'all out here with Days and Dukes on, man.
Right.
Bro, y'all butt cheeks out and stuff like that. I ain't finna guard you with your butt out like that, man. Come on, dog. Come
I,
on,
Uh,
man.
I think all that came from when the NBA 2K created player came out. When they go to the park,
Right.
they dress any kind of way. I think that's where they just started going to the court
Yeah.
wearing Crocs
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. You
yeah.
definitely right. You
And then
definitely
people
right.
be out there
Even like
wearing
when I first started, like I was playing 2K when it was on Dreamcast, when Iverson was on the first couple covers. So even
yeah.
then, like when I created my player, I still wanted like the uniform, you know what I'm saying? Like the shoes to match the uniform and stuff like that. But nowadays, I mean, like you have an all black uniform and lime green shoes. Like,
Facts. Yeah.
man, that's
Facts.
that is crazy.
They showed and switched it all the way up. The swag ain't the same because I remember when Chris Webber and I forgot them other two guys that played on their team, their college team back in the day when they played and they had the big old
Michigan,
shorts back. Yeah, Michigan. They had the big old shorts and stuff back then.
you
I
talking
was like,
about yeah, cause like they used to
I
wear
had
like
five.
yeah the
yeah.
Fab Five, Jalen Rose,
Yeah.
Juwan Howard,
Uh,
um,
oh, I got it.
Weber.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
and then it was
Uh,
somebody else, but it wasn't. I can't remember their name.
Dwight Howard. Rose. You already said. Dang on it. Hold on.
I just remember the notable. All of them were notable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody went on to pretty much have a successful or semi-successful NBA career, but man.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember that though. They had the baggy shorts. They used to wear the black shoes with the black socks.
Yeah.
They were the first team to collectively do that. You know what I mean? So yeah,
And then they was hooping too. They was
a
Jimmy
tough
King
team. But
and Ray
like that's
Jackson.
crazy though. Like Chris, like them boys, like they gonna like anytime you bring up the Fab Five, the first thing you gonna bring up is the timeout by Chris Webber. That's the first thing that come to people's mind when you say the Michigan Fab Five. The first thing they think about is Chris
True.
Webber calling their timeout when they didn't have no timeout left.
That As sad as it is, but that is true. That
Yeah.
team. That, so
As
yeah,
great
Jimmy
as
King.
great as that team was, that's the first thing that people they're gonna come to people's mind when you mention that team.
Jimmy King
Tragic.
and Ray Jackson was the other two.
That's who I was finna say. Ray Ray.
Yep. Yes.
So I got another question to ask y'all. Well, they might be more for Cross because I mean I understand like as a pro, you train a certain kind of way. You know what I mean? Like, but like as a street ball player or a guy that play street ball, like training might be different. So
Okay.
Cross, how did you train for street ball?
Hey, it's a long. I'll be all day talking about it, but I'm gonna just keep it short though. But
All right.
by me starting out, like I said on the last podcast, my daddy had put that goal in the backyard, so I used to be back there dribbling and doing my little stuff or whatever. But I always train myself like by seeing because I still end up going playing street ball, but I used to always see the AAU practice stuff. Like I go to the gym and stuff and be just sitting there watching it. Because like the Hawks, all them little teams they had and stuff. It just kind of just had me like, dang, I want to play for them, man. I got to get good, but I wasn't. I never played, but just by seeing some of their training techniques. I just took the stuff home that I knew I could do, and I just started practicing on certain stuff like that, like dribbling the ball with one hand, like walking up and down, and then come down with the other right hand and do the same thing, and then had to learn how to dribble between my legs and stuff like that, walking with my head up, taught myself all this stuff, whatever. So by the time I got to started seeing the street ball stuff, I started doing the certain type of dribbles that I wasn't doing at first. Like when I saw dribble between his legs, real like bone clipped all them, I'll be right back, dribble between the legs or whatever. Some of them do it at a different pace, some of them do it slow. So I just had to figure out the way how to do it to bring it in with my dribbling set or whatever. Because I already had like a muscle memory to the basic style how I was doing my stuff or whatever. So once I translated to the street side, I just started practicing the moves the same way how I do with dribble. I'm steady going around like I got like something in front of me. I just keep going like that around the thing, just trying to get it, act like somebody head right there. I act like I'm taking it around their head, just working on just certain stuff or whatever. But I learned the fundamental side, translated it, and then I just started practicing the same dribbles over and over with the street ball. So like Shane, when I first saw volume 2, I saw Shane throw it between dude legs a certain way. Sauce threw it between the leg with his hand like that to the side. But Shane did it to where it was all about the setup that had me like, dang, how he do it like that? Because the setup, it looked easy, but it ain't easy because the way how he dribble and he kind of hesitate up and then throw it down. So I like the way how he did it. And Sauce do it a different way. Bone clip to throw between the legs a different way. It's so many people do it different. So I had to kind of go, okay, everybody got their own way of doing it. Let me find my own way to do it, and then I just add to how they do it if it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I had to practice it. Now you got to really kind of pull that off on somebody one good time to see which way you gonna do it. Because sometimes some people be holding me trying to cut me off. I'm like, I can get past that. I'm just gonna throw it like Sauce do. Like between how people try to hold you to the left, think you can't go
Yeah,
left. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, I'm just gonna throw it like that, or
yeah,
throw it the other way. Then if somebody holding me straight up, I think the way how Skip do it. Skip kind of come like he finna cross over, but he kind of roll it
yeah.
between your legs or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So it's just
Mhm.
I just had to train myself on the court and off the court with some of the moves or whatever that I had to learn how to do. Like the boomerang, I just had to really just practice it, just doing it, just so I can get the feel of the ball or whatever. And what it's some more moves I used to practice on, like the slow mo or whatever. When I first saw Sauce do that, it wasn't even on the mixtape. He was freestyling somewhere like in front of a hotel or something like that. I'm like, hold on, what did do? Because this will make it crazy. I saw that clip when YouTube first started out, like on when they first started putting stuff on YouTube. But this video, it was like on Window Media Player, and he was in front of a hotel. I think I'm gonna send you that clip, Final Boss, so you kind of see what I'm talking about. It's so old, you can barely. If you don't know who he is, you wouldn't know it's him. But since we know who he is, you'd be like, "Oh, that is Saul." But he was in front of the hotel freestyling or whatever, and then he doing the hurricane, and he did some more stuff, whatever. Then he did that slow mo. Matter of fact, take that back. He did the slow mo on another freestyle. That's when I first saw it. But he's in front of that hotel. That's when I first saw him do the hurricane. When you go like that,
Yeah.
outside of him doing it on volume 3 in the beginning, that was my second time seeing him do it in front of that hotel. So when I saw him do it like that, I was like, okay, Sauce doing it different ways, but it's like, okay, I gotta see when he do it while he in a good rhythm. You get if it makes sense
Yeah.
to what I'm saying. Because sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
can do a move if you can do that same move, but the rhythm might be kind of off. He was like, dang, he kind of did it different this time. But then you finally see him when he kind of in that zone, like, okay, this is how you really supposed to do it. You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So yeah. Same way how I feel like how he took it around the head in the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
He did it good on volume 3, but volume 4, I think he did it way better than I ever saw him
Oh
do it.
yeah. Yeah.
So when I saw him do it on volume 4, I said, okay, I see how Sauce did it. He did it that way. So I had to practice that way, doing that move, and then started flipping that move a whole bunch of ways. And then it ain't just his moves I flip, but it's other people's stuff too. Like I'll be right back. He got like a
Mm-hmm.
hesitation that I kind of use. I still use that hesitation to this day.
Mm.
Because he jump, he kind of dribble, and he kind of jump in the air or whatever when he doing it. And
Yeah.
then and
Oh,
then
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
yeah, because he did it on volume 3 when they was outside. They were
Yeah.
Future, Ayo, they was gonna have the white jerseys on. And
Yeah.
he came down, he pop, 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 pop. I was like, who was that dude right there? Then I had to do my research on him. I was like, okay, this I'll be right back. That's the same dude from they play in Rucker. So I had to kind of put everybody together. So when I see him on tape, I know who is who or whatever. Then I'll be able to kind of learn from this person. Then sometimes it be people I don't even know and learn the stuff from. So I
Yeah.
just use all that and train myself on all them highlights.
No. Okay.
And then headache, I forgot about headache. When headache used to touch the ground, I had to. I still got some stuff that I still ain't pulled out yet. I'm gonna pull this out before I start playing ball. The way how headache be touching the ground, I got some stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't never had a chance to do it because it don't
Yeah.
never be enough people to actually see me do certain stuff or whatever. I ain't getting paid to play like in certain places or whatever, but I be thinking like that when I go to the court and play. I'm like, I ain't gonna pull that move out because it ain't even 5 people watching. I let about 10
I,
more people pull up. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying like so the way how I look at it, if it's 5 people watching, like okay, damn, there ain't enough people. I want at least enough people to see it, and the people ain't playing. So when next time I come to the court, they gonna be like, that's the old boy that was over there. Same way how you go to the court, even though people don't even play, but they be like, that's dude from last time that was doing all this stuff or whatever. But if it's just 2 or 3 people watching, everybody ain't gonna know who you is when you're on the court or whatever. If it makes sense to what I'm saying.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah. So what's your way of training on what you do? Like
Um, I used to just dribble more than I actually played. You know what I mean? Like I used to just like literally like just spin. Like sometimes I go to the court and just won't play and just just dribble around the whole time. You
yeah,
know what I mean? And the first time I met Hot Sauce like face to face, I asked him a question like similar to this, but I was asking him this at like 17 years old, and he told me he would like do one move 100 times,
yeah,
and I was like 100 times. And he was like, yeah. He was like 10 sets of 10. He was like do one crossover 100 times, and he was like do that for like 3 days. He was like, you do it 300 times in 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Like you pretty much
you're
done,
gonna be paid.
you know,
That's the same way
yeah.
I used to just do
So
stuff. I just stay doing it so I can just stay repetitive. Me had that
right,
muscle memory
because
too.
he like that was his main thing. He was just like repetition, repetition,
Yeah,
repetition, 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 and like it's kind of funny because like I learned basketball backwards. You know how you saying like you learned the fundamentals and stuff first. I had all the tricks.
yeah.
I had all the tricks. I couldn't run a pick and roll. I
Oh,
couldn't. I couldn't triple threat. I couldn't jab and go. None of that. They couldn't lay up with my left hand. I can give you all the tricks. I can
Yeah.
throw it between your legs, put it in my shirt, roll around on the ground. Couldn't make a left hand layup. You know what I mean? So
Oh man.
like it's kind of like and I used to get picked on about that a lot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like amongst my peers and stuff. It'd be like you ain't even doing it but dribble the grip off the ball. Like, you know what I mean? So like they ain't looking for me to score or do nothing like that. You
All
know what I mean?
right.
So it's just like I just took it upon myself. I took a summer to just learn how to just play basketball. You know what I mean? Learn how to do a one dribble pull up. Learn how to you know what I mean, how to make reads in terms of, learning like just being a point guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knowing my personnel, you know what I mean? Knowing
Mm-hmm.
who my shooters is, knowing who my defenders are, you know what I mean? Knowing where people like to get the ball at, where I like to get the ball at when I want to try to score or make a play or get a bucket. So I really kind of like put the tricks on the back burner. And
Yeah.
then I zeroed in on, as you would call it, coach, like the pro side. You know what I mean? I'm studying guys like Tony Parker, Allen Iverson, Chris Paul. You know what I mean? I'm studying these guys, how they dribble, how they get to the rim. You know what I mean? And how they get their flash in without doing the street ball stuff. Like, yeah, I still want to do my moves and stuff. I want to do the stuff to get the ooh and ah. But if I'm not, if I'm playing against some guys who are just as talented or more talented than me, you know what I mean? I want to be able to still play a I want to say a fundamental game, you know what I mean? But I still want to be able to compete with them dudes, you know what I'm saying, in that
Right.
realm of basketball, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and still be able to get my flash in. So, yeah, it was just a lot of dribbling. Like I can recall one time my high school principal took my basketball from me because I used to dribble up and down the hallways. You know what I'm saying? And people be like, boy, let me hold your basketball, boy. You know what I mean? So we throwing the ball up and down the hallway, passing the ball to each other. It's like, hey, boy, give me that. You can't do that in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you supposed to be learning. Like, I told her, like, I am learning. I'm learning new moves. Like, get out the
That's
way.
crazy, man.
But like that really what it was. Like I just really just dribbled more than I played. And I don't know if you probably remember this, but back in the day, like they used to have like the street ball forums on the websites and stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that. So like I Google ball handling workouts, like drills to improve your handles and stuff like this, and I'll print them out at school and go home
Mm-hmm.
and work on the stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? On top of studying the tapes and stuff like that. So like the dribbling aspect of basketball was like what I wanted to master. You know what I mean? I never wanted to be the best scorer, best, the highest jumping cat.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to have the best handles out of everybody in the gym, everybody in the park. That was my goal, to have
Oh
the
yeah.
best handles in. You know what I mean? Like I think I might have accomplished it. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, but back to what you were saying about the like learning from the pro people or whatever. Like I always had to learn that first step though by seeing Carmelo Anthony because
Oh man,
Like I say, Arkansas and just the whole state and then the city part. It's kind of based like off AAU and semi-pro. So most players they in the seventh grade got an explosive first step. I'm like, oh, I gotta learn that. And then I just started figuring ways out for me to learn how to do my first step. But I'm already kind of quick or whatever. So by me adding that first step in, and then when other people start noticing it and telling me like, bro, you got a first step. I got a first step. I ain't never because I never was on camera at that time doing this stuff. But when I started recording myself and getting on camera playing, I started seeing what they was talking about. Like, you got a first step, man. Go on, start using that first step. Quit all that
yeah,
dribbling. Yeah, you can go on beat them with that first step. So I just started either going to the left or right. It depends how I see the lane open up for me. If it open up towards the middle, and I know if they got a big man or something like that, I'm at least take my first step and run in, and then see my other player coming in from the left side. He think I'm finna lay it up. I'm finna straight down him. I'm finna pass
yeah,
it right back. I'm gonna pass it while he cutting in. I'm coming through the middle. He coming from the baseline. I'm going up. I'm a diamond right there. Then that
yeah.
back door be wide open every time. And still to
But
this
see, like
day,
I think a lot of people don't understand. Like I mean, like offense can change. You know what I mean? Because like you look at how basketball played in the '90s and the early
Mhm.
2000s and the 2010, like it all looked different, but one thing remained the same: the defensive principle, dog.
Yeah.
So as a guy that got handles, you know what I'm saying, I put myself in the mind of the defender sometimes. You know what I mean? Like what moves would I go for? Like I used to play this game with myself when I used to be at the court by myself. I used to play this game called Play the Pro.
Yeah.
So um I'm you know, in my head, you know, it's 30,000 people here. You know what I mean? And I got
I know what you're
Allen
talking about because
Iverson.
I be
You know
doing
what
the
I mean?
same thing.
So
I be
yeah,
I
so
be
like what
doing
moves would
the
I
same
do?
thing.
You know what I mean? So what moves would I do on Allen Iverson or, you know, whoever, you know what I mean? Just to get the crowd to go crazy or you know what I mean? Even to get them in their head like, oh my God, he just really did that to me. So
Oh, yep.
you know what I mean? So yeah. So I
I
get
shall
it
be
go.
doing it.
Do coach, do you when you were playing in your playing day, did you have a pregame ritual? Anything you did to kind of like get yourself prepared to go play?
I wouldn't. I guess I still somewhat even do it now. You know, most hoopers we like music. You know what I mean? So I think that's more or less if you say my ritual is getting that my mindset. Like, let's say,
So what you were listening to? Yo, what up?
What's up? What's up?
What's
so,
up?
G, man, it depends on the situation. You know what I mean? You know, what game it is, what's going on, but it always it just honestly depends because even as a coach, I tune in, I get my headphones on, and I'm zoned in, right? I'm like, all right, okay, mentally, let me get myself together, and that's the thing too, like coaching at the different levels. And I think that's the crazy part, especially with younger kids and things like that. I used to have to catch myself because I'm like, all right, you know, I'm too locked in. I need to
Yeah.
bring it down some, you know what I mean? But hey, we want to say welcome to G43. We appreciate you. You know that you have been traveling across the world, you know what I mean? Thank you for jumping on with us. I have my brother Killer Cross and Kendall Sauce on here. And this is my man, G43. I had the pleasure of coaching. He played for me in Chicago. And
Wow.
so, man, reached out to him. We stayed in touch. And I was like, I got to get you on. And he took the time out of his night because he has had a long day. And he jumped on with us. And
All's good,
so,
man. All's good. Nice meeting you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
welcome
for
to the
sure.
unit.
always around the game of basketball. Had the chance to play in Chicago. It was a good time. You know, unique. Like anytime we were putting something together, there's always like kind of that fun aspect. And then being an organizer, it's a lot of work. So I have a lot of respect for you guys. Organizing. It's hard to coach adults. That's something I'm
Yeah.
aware of as well too. I pride myself in being honest, but also being coachable. So it was a good time, man. We had a good time in Chicago.
yes. So give the folks a little history about you, G, right? Because you played both sides. You have credibility on the college and pro side as well as on the street ball side. So let the folks know a little bit about you.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a Grant Anderson, south suburbs of Chicago. I'm about 30. I'm 30 now. So I've I've done this longer than I realized. Basketball was not my first love, but I kind of picked it up in like seventh, eighth grade around that time where I was like 5'11", and they're like, "Why aren't you playing basketball?" And it wasn't really a thing to me to like really play till high school. I was a late bloomer. Went to a really good high school team that had multiple Division I players, and I kind of got backed up to the end of the bench,
Mm,
trying to get minutes at a really good school in suburban Illinois that was beating teams in the city, that was getting good talent. We had a couple NBA players. Julian Wright went to my high school. The guy played at Kansas.
Okay.
He was like Chris Paul's first lob threat back in the day with the Hornets. So like he's probably our biggest name, Homewood Flossmoor. So my high school won the state title 2 years ago, which was like unheard of.
mm,
So played college ball in Iowa, small college, because that was really the only interest I drew. And I went from being kind of a bench warmer that first year to my sophomore through senior year, a starter, nearly 1,000-point scorer, rebound record, free throws, threes. Like, I figured out my game later, and then I kind of hit that natural progression that everyone gets, where you have a nice college career and you go buy that FIBA basketball, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, this is where I go overseas. Everyone gets into that lane. So
Yeah.
I pursued it. I reached out, and then I got a job, and I kind of was like, maybe I'm not going overseas. Like, it's not in the cards for everybody. By just sending emails, I learned when I was like 27, 28, you might have to pay to get yourself out there, or you might have to go try out, or you might have to know somebody that has a connect. And I just didn't have those resources at the time. So I'm like a lot of us, just been playing in the rec leagues, semi-pro ball, pro-amps, and now on YouTube. So that's my hoop journey,
Right. That's interesting, man. So we normally ask, a series of questions in terms of like your opinions on basketball, street ball, and stuff like that. And one of the questions we gotta ask is, who was that dude from your neighborhood when you was growing up that used to just tear you apart every time you played?
It's a good question, man. Like, we had a lot of really good guys. I'd say the class above me had some really good players. So like, we were class of 2013. Class of 2012 had 4 seniors that were like very, like, for age group, for 8th grade, they were very advanced. Tyrone Sherman, who was a D2 All-American in college. Delvon Rencher, who was like the #1 8th grader in the country for a little bit. Tim Williams, he played at New Mexico. And then Antonio Bishop was like a JUCO, like Montrezl Harrell type guy. So like, for my high school age group, these guys were like projected to be like the biggest names. And whatever, if it was just high school politics or just the state of basketball, like growing up, like being around those guys. When I was a junior and they were seniors, it was like men among boys. They dunked the point guard. They were so advanced for seniors compared to us as juniors. It felt like, like grown men and boys. And so later in life, I caught up to them. But like growing up, like there wasn't like a killer that like we all were just like, oh, what's that? But when we were in 5th grade and Tim Williams was in 6th grade, he was 6'6", 6'7" in the Park District League and could dunk. And we're like, our coach goes, if we play him, we're just gonna go 5-on-1. Like that's the kind of respect they had locally. It was like, we'll all just guard him and just leave everyone else open. 6th grade. 6th grade.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Grown men. So I'd say the collective of my high school varsity was who I respected the most.
Oh, okay. I didn't understand that. Yeah.
Which you said you were basically an influencer now, or right? Or what would you say?
Tulane, yeah. So like,
yes. So how has that been? I know some of the guys that you played with, or that you know. How has that journey been? Because I'm new, right? When I met you, I was getting more into it. I had, like a Coach Hezzy and Chris Staple. They played for me back before the pandemic, but now I'm really heavy into the street ball world. So how was this journey for you?
I'd say it's been unique. I had a broadcasting background in high school. So like I was like a play-by-play announcer. And I did that in college too. So when I watch people gravitating to a camera in 2020, I'm like, I can do that. That's nothing. I've already done that. Good video editor. That's what I thought it was media. People that played basketball that understood media. So that has changed since then. Now there's so much access to video cameras and videographers. It's really anyone that hoops that just decides to go on Instagram as an influencer. So I think it's become oversaturated. It doesn't hold the same weight that it maybe did in like 21 or 22, because in a way, now being an influencer is just someone that hoops on camera. And that's not what it was supposed to be before. Because as you know, there's a lot of hoopers in every city that just play basketball. I'm like, so suddenly when they have clips on YouTube or Instagram, they're an influencer. I'm like, no, bro, you're just home.
Yeah.
You're just home. you're not heading to any league, and you have a lot of time to play ball, which is great. I love that for people, but like people I've like they've moved the goalposts on what that's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a creative person, you know, not just someone with a camera, because a lot of people that are good just are around a camera. Like the best player probably has, 200 mixtapes from people just being like, this is the best player. You bring the camera.
Yeah. That's a
And in the
great
football world, how many people have watched the Hot Sauce mixtape? Everyone. He brought the camera out. Like, that's just what it is.
Yeah, right.
That's good. Never thought of it like that. You know what I mean? Y'all put me on game, like you said, as I begin to learn more about the industry and the culture itself. Like you said, just grab a camera and you chop it up and you say, hey, now I'm an influencer. You're like, no.
But yeah, I never really considered myself an influencer. Like, I think that's why I probably didn't even put that like in my bio, like on my TikTok and stuff. Like, I'm just a hooper. Yeah. Like, I'm just a dude that hoop. You know what I mean? So like, a lot of times, kind of like Jamal Crawford said, like some of you, like my best highlights ain't even on film because like I wasn't going out there to get highlights. I'm going out here just hoop. You know what I mean?
See, that's what they won't go play without a camera, and that's the difference between guys that play ball and these. I don't call someone that only plays ball for the camera was never an influencer. They're a follower.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
a follower, bro.
True. That is true.
That is. So what you got? So you're in Michigan now, right?
I am for now. It's not long term, but I've been trying to figure out the landscape here. There's a lot of good players in Flint, so I've been up to Flint a couple times.
Okay.
I'm in Grand Rapids, which is kind of like them. So, like those new gentrifying towns where everyone's like kind of gothic first. Like maybe it was a little hood at one point. Now, like people are walking around with like the gauges in their ears and like a latte, and you're like,
yeah.
That's,
switched it all up.
That's what it's like out here, bro. So I feel so out of place. Like I don't feel like I belong really. So I'm here for now. Yeah.
That's great.
That's great.
I heard you met another street baller we just had on, Sir Genius.
Yeah. Yes. Funny. We just hooped and then figured out later. I was like, oh, I didn't even know you did this. I had no idea.
Oh yeah, man. You see I got my USA Star shirt on. So yeah.
No, small world.
I'm about to order.
It is.
He's good, man. He could really shoot.
Okay.
Yep. And he a left-handed shooter. So
I showed it though he was left-handed until I started looking at his highlights. I'm like, he left-handed.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
But left-hand people they be unpredictable on the court. Them left-hand people, and
it seems like every left-hand shooter that I've seen or played against, like they jump always look a little funky. You know what I mean? Like one of the first people come to mind is like Derek Fisher. His jump shot, like, oh man.
Yeah.
It was money, but God, it looked so funny. You know what I mean? But like they say, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. I mean, Sean Marion made it to the league, pretty much just casting it up like that. So so that like bringing that up, who I want everybody to answer this. Who has the prettiest jumper or any dude y'all played against or played with?
About personally or like in
personally.
The NBA?
Personally.
That's a good question because it's a lot of people that shoot different or whatever, and I be kind of.
But it got to be one person like that you just like to see shoot because it looks so good.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, dang, what's the dude name?
Can I say myself? Or I gotta say somebody else.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'm just saying
I was gonna say that. I was like, I don't think anyone has a better jumper than like form wise. Like I'm constantly teaching people I play with jump shot tips. Like I haven't capitalized on that. They'll go, Grant, bro, how do you shoot like that? Like, you can like catch it above your head and just go. I'm like, you gotta like sit in it. And I was like, never mind. I should be charging for this service.
Right.
I will say I enjoyed watching the Splash Brothers jumpers. not because
Yeah.
I mean, Clay has nice form, and Steph kind of has like that interesting, like kind of quick flick. But
Yeah.
I used to
Yeah.
watch their jumper all the time. Like when you really can shoot, you can tell when they do like the slow-mo, the way their
Mm-hmm.
flick ends. I will know if it's going to swish or not.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like if you have a certain flick and it's like it's very much like that,
Yeah.
or people
On
kind
the
of
follow through.
this.
Yeah.
If it goes in, you're like, oh, it went in. But like if you watch them slow mo videos and it ends like that, I'm like, oh, that's a swish, and it is every time
Yeah.
for guys like that. But everyone in the league can shoot so well. It's you really can't go wrong looking at anyone's jumper, except a few funky ones, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like Carmelo Anthony jumper.
That's a good one.
That's a thing of beauty, man. And I saw Austin Mills from Ball is Life. I saw him play, and he got a nice looking jumper too.
I got one. A guy I played with. So here's the one. Here's the one. Jacob Pullen, Kansas State.
Mm.
Right.
Played with Michael Beasley, maybe his freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Maywood, west side of Chicago. Money jumper, money,
Man.
money. 6 foot guard, anywhere on the court, anywhere. He's been playing overseas. Jacob Pullen, that's my guy. Played for
Okay.
Frank Martin at Kansas State.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I had a homeboy. His name Billy Bear. He played high school ball, and he played like community college throughout the. He played for Little Rock Central. I'm trying to think of that college he played at, but it was like one of them community colleges in Arkansas. Then he ended up playing like on the elite team they had here called the Showstoppers. And he always had a jumper since elementary, and I need to. I don't know why he ain't on social media no more, but I got one of his like a profile thing on my page or whatever. And I think he scored like I ain't exaggerating it. I think he scored like 60 something points, and all of them were 3 pointers.
Oh wow,
I was like, man, but
that's
this
Hey,
dude, he kind of got like the Reggie Miller shoot. He kind of shoot like how Reggie Miller shoot. He kind of in that
oh
kind of
wow,
category.
yeah, yeah.
He can't dribble that good, but he can shoot.
no, you don't need to dribble. You need to shoot.
He cannot.
Right.
Then the thing about it, like with him, like he had catching and shooting. Like I be trying to tell, like I don't get you a setup going or something like that. I ain't got time for all that, man. I'm trying to score.
Hey,
He one of them type of
don't
players. Like
change.
he used to get mad at me when I do dribble 2 or 3 times. Like I'm just just because he want to see me just go to the goal or something. But yeah, Billy Berry, one of them guys though.
What about you,
Yeah,
Coach?
man. Ooh. Let me think. Let me think. Uh, that's a really good question because I think because I'm trying to go. I didn't play with some great players. Uh, man, let me see. I guess I can give some love to my man. One of the best players, D Watts, Donald Watts. He's out of UW. Slick Watts was his dad, a legend in here in Seattle. I remember playing for Seattle after I came out of college. That's where I transitioned into, I guess you could say, my minor league or pro days where I got paid to play ball. And he was one of my teammates. And I didn't understand how he wasn't playing overseas, right? I mean, everything he was putting out. And that's one of the things he does now. He teaches the mechanics of shooting. And
Yeah.
so it's one of the things where I was like, man, because I pride myself to be a shooter. And I'm like, yep, I teach my kids and things like that. And
Yeah.
folks be like, oh, you can shoot that thing. But he's one of the guys, shout out to my brother that one of the best jump shooters, shot shooters that I've seen or played with and learned from. You know what I mean? Because I was a rookie and, new out here and playing amongst all of these big name XD1 pro players. And I'm coming out of this little Puget Sound Christian College, a little NIA school. And here it is. I'm playing with Seattle. And he was one of the players. Still to this day, I had the pleasure of coaching him when I was coaching in the Jamal Crawford League and things like that. And, he was still hooping, still
Mm.
getting buckets. So I'm gonna have to give D Watts some love on that one.
Okay, okay. Mine would be my best friend Eric Eric Hardy. 6'3", probably like probably about 220, 215, but all finesse. You know what I mean? Like when he ain't had like a bang bang type of game, you know what I'm saying, being that big. So his thing was all finesse. And when I say like he had like the shooting mechanics down when we was like 13, 14 years old, like keep your elbow in, follow through, like guide hand perfect, like everything. So I had to give it to him. Best looking jumper that somebody I done played with or played against. So yeah, I give it to him.
Okay. What time is it, G?
It's 11:08.
Okay, yeah, I got my man up late. We can keep you on a few more minutes before we go off, because your
Cool with
man
me.
was like,
Cool with me.
yo,
I'm not. I got plenty to
okay.
do. I'm not going to sleep anytime soon.
Okay, just wanted to make sure, like you said, I appreciate you again for, you know, rushing to be on with us, because this is what we do every Sunday. We have our unit conversation, and we're looking to take it to the road. That's going to be the next thing. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to do next. I have to get you back on the court, G.
Definitely, man.
Uh,
Looking forward to it. This is a busy year for me, but really, I still got my eyes on the prize. Like you guys know, the second you stop dribbling that ball for a few months, it's hard to
yeah.
come. I've kept my basketball identity. I'm still in the YMCA here. The gym is packed.
Okay.
Kids, all kinds of 8 people shooting at the rim at one time, and I'm just like, all right, what I got to do to
Yeah.
game, man. Like I don't have the luxury of having a trainer and open gym sets readily by call anymore. It's unique going to a new city and having to figure out the landscape. It's a lot more challenging than I realized.
Wow.
How long? How long you gonna be in Michigan?
Probably 3 more months.
Three
Then
more
after
months.
that, it's kind of up in the air. But
Oh, okay.
basketball is a universal language. If you find the right people you can communicate hoop with, you usually get along. So like, obviously, we all 4 of us can just vibe immediately because we all love basketball. It's a great way to meet people.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Will you be going back to Chicago?
Hopefully,
Or
hopefully,
okay.
but it's not certain yet. Obviously, I've had a lot of time in Chicago, but it'd be
Okay.
interesting to see some other places.
Right.
Okay. What do you have anything planned for the summer, or what I mean? Like you said, you still out here got your eyes on the
Okay,
prize.
so I'll give you my biggest secret. I'm
Okay.
hosting. I'm going to start up my own one-on-one tournament in Chicago. So like I've played once, I've been in the scene, and
Yeah.
I've kind of, you take what you like from other people, and I've been thinking like I need to do my own thing because it's just when you wait on people to do stuff, you're bound to get let down because
Yeah.
these are grown men. People cancel. It don't go how it goes. You can get, cheated. I played in one-on-one tournament, and you were supposed to get a free throw after you got a shooting foul, and they just weren't giving me it. And it was continuous. So like, if you complain, the dude's going to get the ball, and you're back on defense. So I'm like, I'm not going to give him a basket. Then after the game, they're like, oh yeah, you should have had 4 shooting fouls. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? Hold the ball and stop the game and make
Yeah.
it seem like do I gotta act out to get an answer? So it's if you can't enjoy what like the peers produce, do it yourself. Put your money where your mouth is.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. That's the plan though.
Okay. I like that. Definitely keep me posted. You know what I mean? I like to come out and support, and I know a couple of guys that probably be interested in getting on
Yeah,
the scene and seeing
definitely.
what
We'll
happens.
see, man. It's you kind of start small, like
Yeah.
sort of start small and
Yep.
kind of see where it goes from there. And like, if anything, I like to see if I can put my own imprint on something and
Okay.
in a way that is like is reputable, is fair, and it gives people an opportunity. Now it's so buddy now that like, hey, this guy's got 50,000 followers. Let's go get him. And it's like, I hate that shit, bro. That's not how basketball was.
That's
Yeah.
it didn't change into that. Like
It's all
it
that.
didn't change into
Even the
that.
AAU's like that now.
That's crazy.
Terrible,
No.
man.
Yeah, it's awful, man. I think it pollute the game a little bit because like now, certain talent might be getting suppressed. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have X amount of followers and all that. But you know, like what they got to do at my talent level? Like if you can hoop, you can hoop.
You can lose any game.
Yeah.
I can lose any game to anybody.
Yeah, to anybody.
Well, this guy's got 100,000. He has 200,000. Let's have them play each other. I'm like, we've seen this game on like 10 different videos. What are we doing? You can take a kid from any neighborhood and he might be better than all those guys. That's the fun part. You find the diamond in the rough.
Yep.
Pull them out and give them a chance.
That's crazy because I remember Skip to My Lou said something similar to that back in like 2002. Toward the end of the tour. Skip was like, and one can go to any neighborhood and find a guy better than Hot Sauce, better than you know, Main Event, better than, you know, Sick With It. But he was like, you know, like I think a lot of the guys that was on the team at the time, like once and one went from, you know, just mixtapes and now they getting Mountain Dew endorsements and you know, they video game and all that type of stuff. Kind of probably went to a lot of them dudes' heads, you know what I mean? So
it's the same thing going on right now, bro.
Yeah, same thing.
That documentary that we all watched, and you guys have a better understanding than me of that era, it's the same things happening right now.
Okay.
With all these companies and big media brands, they're doing the same shit that One did, and there'll be a new documentary, The Fall of Ball is Life, like something like it's sad because I know these guys.
Yeah, man.
I'm colleagues with them, and I'm watching it the exact same way that the One came up and came down.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
History repeats itself.
Yeah, I was about to say they say history tends to repeat itself, man. You know what I mean? Because it's just like it was like you think about a guy like Hot Sauce and I say like even Professor, like they runs on And1 wasn't that long. Like Professor was on And1 for 5 years. Hot Sauce was on And1 for 7 years. You know what I mean? So like I guess that's a nod to their influence, but it's also a nod to how fast that window can close. You know what I mean? Being like one minute you at the top and then just like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not necessarily saying they fell off, but you don't get the ESPN no more, like no more mixtapes and all that type of stuff. Now you got to try to get bookings and you know what I mean? You got to hope people like, you got to hope you still relevant in some people's eyes. You know what I mean? So as like the social media game, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to learn how to play it in a sense. You know what I mean? You got to learn how to play the social media game because like I always say, like content is the new currency. You know what I mean? Like content is the new currency. So like people constantly fishing for it, trying to find it, you know what I mean? Or trying to create it, you know? So I don't know, man. I just hoop. That's all I do.
That's all you can do, man. And at the end of the day, we're all just going to hoop. And these guys that did this for 10 years and whatever, they roll an ankle, they get in trouble. That's bound to happen. I'm waiting for this stuff to happen, not in like a spiteful way, but like this can't go on like this forever. You know, these AAU teams that are all driven towards social media.
Yeah.
They just did the one in Chicago this weekend. The Cam Wilder, the Rod Wave Elite is like the biggest AAU team. So basically it's the most viral social media team. They come into the city. They find like 4 or 5 of the best players in the city, regardless of age. Like they could be a graduated senior. They put them on the team. All these random teams suddenly put teams in because they want to play them because it's like more viral. And they're charging like $50 at the door to go to these AAU tournaments. It used to be exposure and development, right? We've gone away from that. It's cameras, exposure, I don't know, media. The gyms go, I like when these guys come to town, you know, like they might pay them a fee to come to town. So like how many kids are getting left out in AAU now because it's all social media driven and shoe company driven?
Yeah.
That's a great point. I'm like,
terrible,
you know what I mean?
And then whoever gonna go viral too. That's what they be looking for. Like you just saying, like somebody has
like I feel like that's like that's the goal now. It ain't even to win the game; it's to go viral.
Yeah, you could lose the game and have one clip, and That's all they're going to talk about. And someone in the bottom goes, this guy lost 15-1.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Who cares? Did you see him try to punch him though? Like, it's like, all right.
That is
um,
true.
Yeah,
I wanna ask everybody on panel, like we all done played, you know what I'm saying, or, you know, still play. So you know, Jordan had bad games, Kobe, all the great guys that had bad games. How do you deal with having a bad game? The emotion that come with that, because you know, like we all competitors, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to go out there and just lose, you know what I mean? But like, just like I said, like how do you deal with them, the negative emotions that come with losing a game or having a bad game?
Yeah, I just say it's humbling. You know, I think the
Yeah.
good guys can take the L and look in the
Yeah.
mirror. You know, the guys that can't come back, they fail, they quit. You know, they transfer. You know, that's the new one. One bad game tournament. Buddy from St. John's on Patino's team is ready to transfer. One bad game, he was player of the year, Big East player of the year. They sat him in the end. He's like, "Fuck this, I'm gone." And it's like, really? You
Oh
really?
man.
It's. I think in the new era they quit. One bad game, they're ready to quit. And I can think of some 1 for 15 games I had in college. I'm like, man, that was rough. 2 for 15s. And coach is like, man, you got to stop having these 2 for 15s. And then I'm like, all right, next game, out 27. You know, like, rebound, bro. You just get back to work. If you love the game, you will work at that. If you are just in it for the other reasons, it shows.
Yeah, most definitely.
it's
Cross.
gonna, it's gonna show. The kind of the same thing he was saying. Just I was the type of person I never gave up when if I'm having a bad game or just getting frustrated, I just kind of stayed within the game or whatever. 'Cause I used to play one on one with one of my homeboys back in the day. He used to always win. I'd be like, "Nah, I ain't done. Come on, keep on running it back, because you helping me out. You really helping me get better too. Because I'm learning. Even though if I lost that first game, then that second game, okay, I wasn't doing this, but I try to bring that into the game or whatever. But now the 1v1s now they totally different. It's all about who gonna embarrass you and go viral. But when I was playing one on one, I was actually getting better and actually learning how to play defense on people that was really destroying me one on one in the ISOs for real. So I never just gave up. Like he was saying, people quit. I hate when people quit now, go to the court. Like y'all done, y'all just get out here. Y'all finna run home and go play the game.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't finna hoop.
That
Y'all ain't
literally
no
happened
hoop.
to me on Wednesday, bro. The exact same story happened on
Yeah,
Wednesday.
I used to hoop so long. I used to play ball like I'm talking about literally. I can play. I still can play like that now. If it's enough people out there to play, I can at least play about 4 or 5 hours straight.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
take sit down if I'm sitting down if I don't get picked up, but I'm gonna stay out there until everybody fade out.
Yeah.
I'm not finna leave and it's a whole court full of people. I'm done. I got my workout in for the day. And you only played one game and didn't even do nothing. You didn't
I ain't
even
done.
do nothing.
I ain't finished till you beat me.
Yeah, and then if my legs ain't feeling stiff or nothing like that, I ain't did nothing. If I can get in the car and just get in there and just drive straight off, I ain't play.
They're not built
Oh
the
yeah,
same.
you ain't.
They don't have it. It sounds like an old head thing to say, but it's true. It's
Yeah.
so true. They are not built the same. Why are the old guys, you know, the OGs, putting a team of 5 together and running the LA Fitness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the high school
That's
kids. That never happened when I was in high school.
Yeah, it was always the older
Never.
guys beating the younger guys back then.
yeah.
Now it's the opposite.
Never. If we saw the OGs in the gym, we had to rough them up. You know, that was like a status thing. You beat the older guys. Now
Yeah.
the guys
Yeah.
just beat
Yeah.
they beat everybody. It's not even close.
Yeah, it's funny now because they'll go in there and beat. Then some of the younger generation now, some of them get respect, but some of them don't. So you could be like, I'm this player right here. They don't even care. They gonna look at you like, oh, you ain't stopping me though. You ain't stopping me. But they don't even understand what's going on. They don't even know what they doing ain't even
No
all the
joke.
way correct.
Yeah.
They just trying to go viral.
Shoot horrible shots.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
had a one time like this younger dude would guard me, and like he had like some Nike slides on, You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at him like I'm
Come
just
on.
standing there holding the ball. And he was like, "Come on," and I'm looking like, bro, you got slides on, bro. Like I ain't even finna do it to you, dog. You know what I mean? Like, bro, come set him a pick and you switch on me, dog. Cause like you ain't even come out here to play for real.
No,
Yeah,
they
you come
You
out
got
here to
slides on. Like, you ain't come out here. You're like, come on, man. That's just disrespectful, dog. Come on.
that's the NBA 2K creative player stuff, man. They go
You
out
right.
there, they
Crocs
jump
on.
straight out the bed, like I'm finna go hoop in this. They go
Come
out there
on,
and
man.
now it's only one dude I know that's on social media. He do be playing in Crocs though, but he be going off too. He actually play in real shoes, but he I think he's from Atlanta or whatever, if I ain't
I think
mistaken. You
for
know
yeah.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The short guy, he
Yeah.
now he can he coach, and he be moving in them. Because he was matter of fact, that's when Joe Johnson had snuck they Frigg had snuck Joe Johnson into like
Yeah.
a local run, and that dude had slides on crossing Joe. I was looking like, and Joe got Joe long, wide, tall, and dude was still moving. I was like, dang,
It could
that
be
dude had those.
tell you that. That'd be the last game I played if I showed up in Croc. It'd be
Right.
I know, right?
He didn't break his ankle. He could have twisted his ankle real bad
he
because
must
Joe
be
was
real
good.
young.
And them ankle injuries, man. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Them,
so
I
once
never
you
forget, man. One of my homeboy rolled both of his ankles in a day.
Damn. It's time to sit.
He he went up, he went and drove to the basket. I never forget. He went up for a left hand layup, came down, rolled his left ankle. So, you know, he was like, I'm gonna keep playing, tied the shoe up real tight, you know what I'm saying? Kept playing. So I think we ended up winning that game. So the next game, you know, started. So he get up there and I think like he shot a jumper. You know, I like when you contest the shot, you know what I'm saying? You got to give a shooter space to land. Dude didn't give him the landing space. Came out, rolled his other ankle. I said, oh
Damn.
man.
take care of him
How
out.
you finna get home, man? Cause you drove out here.
Y'all-
Like, how you finna get home?
Wheelchair.
He probably had to get stick a stick down there and hit that
I
gas.
know, right? Cause bro, I said, man, both of them, dog. Like we literally had to carry the man to the car. Cause like, of course, like he couldn't walk, you know. So we had to carry him to the car. And I was just like, I said, bro, like you gonna like let your car just stay out here till tomorrow? Like have your girlfriend come pick it up or something?
That's
Cause like,
bad.
bro, you literally crippled right now. Like you can't walk at all. Like
That's
that
amazing.
was it was crazy, but like thinking back on it, like it was funny yet unfortunate, man. Cause I never seen that. You know, like I rolled one of my ankles, like I'm out. Like you know, I'm sitting
But
down.
but back to what you were saying, like how you said dude sprained his ankle and kept on playing. Now, like in that era, people used to do that, but now they done. They actually they done. They finna quit playing basketball. I'm finna quit. You know what I'm saying? Versus us, we have played through. I know I didn't play through it a couple times.
Yeah, depending on the severity of it, you know what I mean. Hold on a second, here.
Losing. Where we at?
We got 123, coach. Hour 23.
Because I out there, I'd be like, "Ooh, boy, this is crazy." But there we go.
We did our
Somebody else
hour
is
and
going.
more than an hour, but
You got two people that you
we wanted to
in.
make sure that we had got my man G on here, and we got enough time with G. I'm over here like 2 times. I don't know how to make myself come on 2 times. I'm like this system. So hey, how can people follow you or get a hold of you? Just be able to see what you got going on, G.
Yeah, I'd say Instagram. I'm pretty active. GFOR3. You'll see me on there, as well as I'm on YouTube. G43. Well, I don't really do to my TikTok anymore. I kind of left it alone when the world cut off TikToks. I'd say those two, Instagram and YouTube. You could see me on there. I answer most messages. Just love the game, bro. So always interested in talking about the new era stuff, man, because I have my opinions and I'm picky about them. So it's fun to get on here and talk about different stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I'm gonna definitely give you a follow, man. And sub to your YouTube.
Go ahead.
I'm following too or whatever.
Welcome back. Yeah. Hopefully we can all get on the court again. I'm always open to trying stuff. Life is busy for me right now, but still in shape, keeping myself ready for the next thing.
Yeah, man. Got to.
Who knows what'll come back. I feel like this one-on-one thing's gonna die off soon. So I'm getting a little imprint of it. Now they're starting to add NBA players to one-on-one. I'm like, are you guys sure you want to add NBA guys? Because
they got
Bro,
the big
that
one
like
coming up. They got the
that could
big game
possibly
coming up.
destroy your brand or
that's
hurt your brand.
And I'm worried about the NBA adding a one-on-one tournament because say it doesn't look good. I feel, and you guys know this too. Basketball follows the trends of the NBA. Why did the Drew League get so popular? Why did Rucker and Dykeman get so popular? NBA players went there.
Yeah.
People will talk about, Julius Erving. They'll talk about Dr. J. They'll talk about Kobe and LeBron and them going to the pro-ams, going to, the crossover pro-am. And then Chet got hurt. That ruined it, bro.
Yeah.
That ruined it. That ruined the program. And, there's more going on than that. But if the one-on-one thing doesn't look good on the NBA, and people go, oh, this is trash.
Yeah.
That movement is over.
Yeah.
They sure got the big one coming up with Lance Stevenson and old Beasley, 100,000.
Yeah.
They're gonna have this on pay-per-view.
Right. So that's a way that everyone's gonna want to watch that. But the idea that it was built on kind of like the YouTube creators because it was something unique.
Oh yeah, and then they ran. Now they running with it. They make a real bag.
Took it and ran with it. Yeah.
And then you're gonna say,
"Oh, make a real bag."
I'm bring Grant and Cross out here to hoop. They're gonna go, huh? Nah. Raymond Felton and Ty Lawson. To them, that's I'm not watching that. If you start bringing the casual basketball fan to your market, not the people that are tapped in with kind of that movement, you're gonna kill them guys that were doing it full time.
Right.
Because someone's going to watch them, or you put one of them against the NBA player. I mean, what do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah.
What do you think Lou Williams would do to the best YouTuber? That's gonna be 15-0.
Right. True.
They told just had because that's what Frigg be doing. Shout out to Frigg though, but he be kind of mixing it in, and some of them guys be kind of giving them players the business. The NBA,
right.
the local people in the park be giving the NBA players their business out there, blocking their shots. They can't dribble the ball that well on them and all this. So, but some of them guys, I think they retired though. They ain't no active.
Yeah.
They're finding guys that are kind of slowed down. They were talking bringing Stanley Johnson on there. I'm like, that's going to get real dark. You put young, in shape Stanley, 26 something years old. He should be in the NBA. Against those guys, that's going to look so different.
Yeah,
it's going to look boring for them because it's going to be.
Or even still, you could probably go grab a G League player. You know what I mean, and take them to some of these runs, and they'll do work, man. Because when I talk the G League versus the NBA, in my mind, the G League might be tougher than the league because, you know what I'm saying, you got 300 players trying to get to the NBA. They're willing to take your head off to get there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They'll kill you to get that contract. And
a
lot of them are force.
Yeah, right. But then when you get that 10-day, and now you got to guard. You got to guard LeBron, or you got to guard James Harden or DeRozan or one of these guys. That's different than guarding another guy in the G League. You know what I mean? So
they said Alex Caruso said the problem with guys in the G League is they're trying out to be the CEO. There's only a few CEOs on each team.
Right.
You can't try out to be the CEO. They already got LeBron. They already got Kawhi. You need to try out to be the janitor. You're a you got to clean up them cups, wipe up the water. If you scored 50 in the LA Clippers G League team, that does nothing to them. If you got 6 offensive rebounds, they might be going, all right.
Yeah.
It's back.
It's the little things. The little things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
All right. Guess we're ready to wrap it up on that, man. Hey, G, I want to say thank you again for stopping in on the unit. We'll definitely be in touch. You know what I mean? Like you said, I want to follow up with you later on if you come up with the 101. Want to see that, of course.
Absolutely.
You know, of course, I'm gonna be in touch with you as I get back doing some of the 5-on-5 stuff because I need a shooter. I know you, you're one of the best shooters I've had in a while, so you know, I know, you know, just all the way around your character and all of that. We were just talking about this on another podcast and even earlier. That's something that I look at is not just talent. You know what I mean? So yes, talent, amazing shooter, you know, great teammate, but then just your character, you know what I mean, off the court and just being able to work with, I highly respect and
Man,
appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it. I definitely, and likewise, you know, I know how hard it is to run this stuff because I've done it in smaller capacities where you count on people, they might not show up, they could make a scene. It's like, you know, how do you present someone's brand? You know,
Right.
and so it takes a lot of work to put that together. And obviously, you know, you surround yourself with other quality guys. So I respect you guys and appreciate you for having me.
Hey,
Okay.
well, hey, what y'all got, Cross in Kendo sauce? What will go off?
Man, y'all already know, man. Y'all follow me on Instagram at Kendo Sauce 3, and I'm on YouTube. Got some new footage coming on YouTube at Crossover TV, man, and that's it.
Nope.
Hey, y'all can follow me on YouTube and Instagram, The Killer Cross. Still putting stuff together or whatever, but y'all stay tuned.
Gotta watch these, man. Like I got a good behind the back. That's mine. I got a good spin move and I don't got the right to left cross. It's never really been. I need to watch some of y'all's clips.
Oh yeah, man, for
I need
sure.
a tutorial.
Hey man, you know, you can help me work on my jumper, man, because you know I'm really just getting back into playing. Like I broke my jaw back in September last year, so I'm really just getting back into playing. Like I just started really back playing like 100%, like being able to like go full contact in like February. So
Sure.
you know I'm working off a little bit of that court rest.
Right. I get that, bro. It's hard to get that back, but like, you
Yeah,
know, it's
but
kind of
like
like bike.
before we go, like the crazy thing is like I took 5 months off from playing basketball because, you know what I'm saying, I had surgery and stuff. And I'm like, I come back to the court and I'm still able to dominate. You know what I mean? Like in 5 months, ain't nobody got no better.
Nope.
Come on now.
Nope.
Yeah, putting work in no more.
They all got 2K scores though. Like they're my
Oh yeah.
they're my
Oh
play.
yeah.
Them badges, they go by them badges. They think
Yeah.
them badges is real.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like that don't translate to real life, man.
Yeah, they think when they go to the court, they think they still on 99.
No, dog. Bro, this ain't no video game. This is not a video game. This is real life. This is reality, bro.
And then we'll make I know we finna go, but this will make it crazy. Like on the NBA 2K, when you at 60 overall, you can't even hit a layup. Like that's crazy. Like, because I remember I was playing it one night, it was like, man, we ain't finna, because you hear them on the mic talking, they like, oh, he's 60. Then nobody want to pick me up. Like, I'm 60 overall. I'm like, this ain't even real life, and these dudes taking this serious. This is a video game. If you at 60, they is not finna pick you up at the park. That's crazy.
Hey, we want to thank y'all for tapping in to the unit. We will be back next Sunday at 7 o'clock. We don't know who to guess. You got to follow us. Watch out. Somebody will be announcing who the next person to be on next week or this week. We'll figure out who it is. But we want to say thank y'all for tapping in to the home of street ball, the unit. I'm the ambassador. Shout out to my man G43.
Yes,
We
sir.
got Cross and Kendo Sauce. Till next time, we out.
Yes, sir. We up out of here.